welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani. Gharat. BBDO has released their key insights from the latest study on brand purpose in Asia, which was carried out under the agency's BBDO Voices Insights program by the agency's Asia team. The study explores the relevance and the impact of using brand purpose as an approach to brand positioning and uncovers important by-country nuances that marketers in the region need to navigate to build their brands successfully across markets in the region. BBDO Voices is now celebrating its 13th year and has provided to brand marketers, planners and creatives great insights in China. This latest study marks the expansion of the program's coverage to also include other key Asian markets such as South Korea, Japan, Thailand, the Philippines and India. On the sidelines of her visit to India for BBDO Voices, we caught up with TzeKiat Tan, CEO-BBDO Asia, along with Suraj Kishore, CEO-BBDO India. Suraj, Z, welcome to CNBC TV 18, and Z, welcome to India.
Thank you.
So we are sitting bare feet in BBDO Ashram in Mumbai. You are here to bring BBDO Voices to the country. This is the first time that you are expanding the scope of Voices to the country. Tell us more, what is BBDO Voices all about?
So BBDO Voices is actually our proprietary that we did this 13 years ago in China. We wanted to find trends and insight that can inspire our creative or the planning team that beyond the client usually look into, like the researchers that the client usually find. We felt that it's not about the brand. We wanted to look into consumer insight. So in the last 12 years, in China, we actually look into men and women, love and sex relationship, that kind of insight. We even look at money. How do they look into money and how do they split? Parenting. We also look into divorce rate in China. That's one of the topic. So why Asia right now? Lucky me that I got promoted into BBDO Asia role in last year. And Hans and I both got elevated to this role, and we felt that BBDO Voices has been helping Greater China bring up a lot of inspiration to our creative and to our clients as well. So we felt that why don't we bring this, find another topic and that Asia will need. So therefore, this topic that we are going to launch in India is all about brand purpose.
What are some of the insights that are peculiar to the India market that you find very interesting out of the BBDO Voices?
Countries where government is not being able to provide for, countries which are still developing, clearly is asking more from the brands. The expectation people have from the brands in countries like India, in Philippines, our report is very clearly saying people expect brands to go beyond functional benefit and provide them better life. For instance, if you are into dental care, don't just provide a toothpaste. Can you provide dental hygiene ecosystem? If you are into health, don't just provide a tonic. Can you provide an ecosystem of gyms and trainers and things like that? Can you also go beyond your category and look at what comes in the way? For instance, if you are an automobile industry player, if the roads are not there, can you do something about it? And we say, purpose allows you to sell more with ESG and everything coming in. Consumers are saying, make sure when you do business with us, people and planet are affected and impacted positively. You cannot give me a product and have negative impact on the society, on the community. You can't have child labor in your factory. You can't destroy the sea or the water because you have a beverage company. Consumers are asking that, and therefore accountability is increasing, right? So to me, it's not about the category, it's not about the sales. I always say consumers want better life, not better brands. And if you can understand that, then you'll go beyond the category.
Now moving on, Z, I'm coming to you. What has it been like, for the past 1 year? What has been, your immediate mandate, and how do you look at the region?
This is an office that I really envy. Why
is that?
When I was running Greater China, I always asked myself and the team, how can we be like BBDO India, create work that actually think out the box? They don't do normal work. They do work that is beyond beyond the normal things. I always felt that we need to do work like that. How can you actually create a campaign that lasts for 7 seasons?
Yeah.
Like a Lord of the Ring, you know? To me, it's difficult. 7 years. I mean, every 3 years, consumer mindset have changed. How can you continue doing that? And of course, I'm a big fan of Josie, and I would love to have a partner like. So you're so lucky that you have a partner like that. My last 18 months, was that 18 months? To me, it's not anything new, but I need to really go into details of understanding of individual office. We have a regular weekly meeting every Monday. We have every Friday with the creative. I have very close relationship with them. That's what I promised. I wanted to make sure I know them better. And BBDO, our core is all about creativity. The work. I do have a lot of other offices I need to fix that on this. So we all believe in people plus work. The growth will come. So people, we think for BBDO India, they are doing very well, work as well. The growth, this office will definitely be part of the very important growth engine for Asia.
On that note, what has been, the business like over the past couple of months, Suraj?
We are not clamping down with the sentiment which global shares. There seems to be a polarized sentiment here because we work as network, and when we hear what our New York office is thinking, we say, oh no, we don't at all resonate with that.
Yeah.
While many other companies across markets are clamping down on spends, in our markets, people are just starting out. And not only that, one of the biggest shift I've seen is Indian MNCs having ambition to go all across the world. That has never happened. There seems to be a reverse ambition, aspirational nerve, if you call it, So to me, it's the best place to be in right now if in advertising and marketing, and many people would like to come and find a job here. So to me, it seems like there seems to be a stable government. There seems to be faith in the government despite all the narratives. There seems to be population which is growing up. The aspiration and climbers are increasing. You see large number of people almost jumping guns. You don't start with the most elementary bike or the car or the gadget. You straight away go for the most premium one because the cash is available, the EMI is available. So I feel that we are in a market where we'll see exponential jump in just next 5 years.
So what are your, targets or goals earmarked for Suraj and Josie in the coming months?
Are we going on record on this? Okay.
Creativity is to sustain that and maintain that standard. Be very honest, I'm not going to hide this. We didn't do well in this year Cannes. So we will aim better next year. We wanted to make sure that BBDO as a whole, Asia contribute. And BBDO globally is doing great.
Yeah.
And we need to be
one of the top 3.
We need to be part of this. Asia cannot be not contributing it. So that's my biggest KPI, not to just to them. They're good. I need to give myself that KPI. They need to help me. So that's major. I think the second part is towards our clients.
Yeah.
Many of our business, India play a very important part. Almost every client that looking at global market, India is always there. I mean, in the past, China is important. That's why I am sitting there. But they will always say, is your India office ready? Is your India resources enough on this? India need to be as strong as China so that we make Asia very strong.
All the best for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We also spoke with Hans Lopez, Vito's COO-BBDO Asia, who has worked extensively on the BBDO Voices Insights program for Asia on some of the interesting insights, along with Josie Paul, Chairman and Chief Creative Officer, BBDO India, on some of the purpose-led work done by BBDO India. What I found really interesting was that, one of the insights was that women associate with brands with purpose more and are looking for brands to have some purpose more than men. Can you tell more? on that?
Essentially, what it says is women are looking for allies. And they look around, who can be my ally in society to talk about women empowerment, to represent some of the issues that they're passionate about, and they see a potential ally in companies and brands to help them. In some societies across Asia, Japan would be an example. Companies and brands are the only allies that they feel they have, and therefore they want brand purpose to be more prevalent, really, and to champion the causes that.
And one such
champion
purpose-led campaign actually is done by BBDO India, which is Share the Load, over the past so many seasons. So I want to ask you, Josie, when you come up with a new season every year, how do you decide on the narrative to go about for that year or that particular season?
Yeah, so we're really curious about what the world is thinking, feeling, what individuals are feeling, and we try to sense the moment. I mean, for example, last year, actually early this year, when we did our 7th edition
of Share the Load,
which we call Silent Separation, is when we discovered two things. One is, as we listen to people, and I speak in a lot of schools and colleges, while also reading data and trying to probe into things that people are saying, articles, interviews like the ones you do, you start finding patterns. And one of the patterns we found was silver divorces. That was on the rise, which means after 25 years of marriage, people are saying, okay, thank you. It's not that it was bad, but now I need to seek my own thing. Somewhere something's not working, or maybe it's done. But it sounded really scary at that point. And at the same time, we found young people, especially Gen Zs, saying that our parents don't seem to be getting along. How do we talk to them? We respect them too much to tell them, hey, guys, have you all thought about yourselves yet? But they're too young, and why should anyone listen to you, So we said, what if we could take these two things and see how we can make something very powerful when it came to sharing responsibilities at home. And that was one of the reasons, that because it was the responsibility sharing was not equal. And that is when we hit upon this sort of point of view. So nothing came because we were imagining it. It came because we were watching it, feeling it, listening to it. And that's why I say deep listening with one-on-ones or with a larger group leads to confessions. And now you have to be a DJ. You have to be a curator of emotions to know which one will work. And that is really where no data or formula will help you. You have to believe in your gut that this combination might help.
Can I just add to what Josie was saying, where today there's a plethora of data out there, especially in this digital and social media driven world, and marketing is all about digital and social now. But that data is all about scraping, behavioral signals or attitudinal signals that are happening in real time, and that's great. But I think there's no substitute for really talking to consumers face to face, whether it's giving them a survey or having those confession sessions that Josie's talking about, and that's where the magic comes from, really, when you're building a brand and doing marketing communication.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, Hans and Josie.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Riaz Amlani, the founder and MD of Impresario Restaurants that owns brands like Social, Anti-Social, Smokehouse Delhi, on key trends in the F&B space, their plans moving forward, and how does he keep his brands relevant?